Martin, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Ben. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. So I'm joined by an award-winning managing director that's had an interesting period during this COVID part of our lives. Not many people have moved offices. We actually moved on the 13th of March, but we only moved 10 yards down the corridor. But you've moved. So how first of all, how's lockdown gone for you and the team, Martin?
Yeah, so lockdown's been locked down. Obviously, there's been challenges across all areas, whether it's family, home life, or in business. And I think lockdown in itself has brought challenges, but I think there's been a lot of good come from it as well, and almost kind of reset some of the thinking of how we're moving forward as a business. Hence some of the things that you kind of understand from this interview today. So, the team worked remotely pretty quickly past, obviously, the pandemic hitting in March. And ironically, we were at an awards night where we saw you guys on the Thursday, and then by the Monday, we were sending people home to work remotely. So that happened. I mean, we're really fortunate that we're in an industry where we can adapt and be really agile. Part of our culture is very much flexibility and working remotely anyway. So we were able to set everybody up for 24 hours and it was kind of business as usual, really. But obviously we understood that certain brands we worked with and businesses weren't going to be able to adapt as quick, and therefore obviously projects were put on hold, and we had to have slightly different conversations with varied clients just to make sure we were continuing to support and deliver, really.
And for the audience that are watching this, Martin, that perhaps don't know exactly what Cygnus do, just give us a summary of Cygnus and the range of services you provide.
Yeah, sure. So essentially, we're a creative and digital design agency. As Ben alluded to, we're based in Milton Keynes, we've got a team of 40, and we do work with a variety of businesses from SME all the way up to global brands. We do pride ourselves on kind of the way we work with those brands. So we very much want to become partners and have longevity in a relationship and partnership. I think, the strength that we have is very much our collaboration side. So inviting businesses in to work with us as us being an extension of their team and getting the thinking done together rather than us being an agency that kind of just go off and deliver a task. We want to make sure we're entrenched, based around insight and research. We're delivering, the right product for the brand, and it's reaching the right audience. And, as far as our offer is concerned, we've got kind of 4 disciplines within the agency, which is digital, which is development, digital design, UX design, through to creative team, which deliver everything from brand experiences through to websites, creative campaigns. We've got a production team which manage all of our artwork, and also video production and animation. And it's all wrapped up in a client service offer, which essentially manage all the projects through the business.
You've got some pretty impressive household name as clients. Can you share 2 or 3 with us?
Yeah, sure. And as I mentioned, we do work with businesses of all shapes and sizes, and sometimes the bigger global brands are great to have on the portfolio, but actually it's about what we can do with all the businesses we work with, and we don't treat any differently depending on size or scale of what they mean to us. And VW Group are one of our biggest clients. We work with their Seat brand, and we essentially manage their dealer marketing. So that's quite a big part of our business. That touches every sort of part of our business as well, which is great for us. We love the fact that we can have a brand that can work and operate within the whole business offer. And then the likes of Papa John's as well. Obviously pizza didn't stop selling throughout the pandemic, so that was really quite exciting for us.
I've had a few Papa John's during lockdown, as you can probably tell, Martin.
I don't want to be rude, but no, it had its challenges as well, though, because obviously people wanted a bit of norm throughout the time, and actually their marketing didn't need to be prolific as it had been. So, but we're doing some really exciting things with them coming out of the lockdown as well, and looking to next year already. But then there's also, the other side, which is, the SME businesses as well. And it's been quite interesting actually how some of them have really sort of kept going and put their sort of best foot forward throughout COVID. But then there's been other businesses which I totally understand have had to kind of put a bit of a stop and hold on certain projects, and kind of, marketing is one of those projects sometimes.
So where have you moved to?
So we have moved slightly further away than you did. So we've moved a couple of roundabouts away, actually. So we were based in Foxmill.
Well, I knew there'd be some roundabouts involved.
Yeah, definitely some roundabouts. Not too many, probably 4 or 5 max. But we've actually, I suppose, for a few things, timing was perfect. We just literally finished the lease in Foxmill, which is near Junction 14, next to Willen Lake, back in March, and I was literally just about to sign for another year, just to extend, to hold that office space for another year. But ultimately, it wasn't quite the right space for a creative and digital team, an agency, or our clients coming into an environment where we wanted to really inspire. So it was always the game plan to look for other offices, and this kind of just forced our hand a little bit more. So timing was perfect. Obviously, everybody was working remotely. We had a slightly different way of thinking. So we've actually adapted quite significantly, really, as to what we do on a day-to-day. So back in Foxmill, we had a team of 40 coming into one environment, working together, which is all good stuff, and we definitely don't want to stop that. But now, obviously, we've got other means of working together through the likes of this kind of situation. So we adapted really quickly. We just said, look, let's do it. It's right. It did force our hand, definitely, but we've moved to Bow Brick Hill, which is on the way to Woburn Sands. So we're not a million miles away from Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes is where we want to be. It's where all the businesses we work with are. So, but it's it's the next step, really. And as I say, I think it just forced our hand and moved us forward probably a year.
From a business perspective or decision making process, how quickly was that decision made?
Within about 5 days.
Really?
Yeah. So I think we're fortunate that we're creative, so we look for solutions all the time. And when this hit, I don't think anyone kind of really understood the scale of what COVID might mean to a business.
Yeah.
And as I say, our culture and our one of our main offers was working collaboratively as a team, and us thinking that we could adapt this quickly into a space where, you can see behind me, there's no one here today. And hopefully, in July, perhaps early August, we can start inviting people in and clients in. But, it's something we did make a quick decision on. And, as a progressive agency, you have to do that because at the end of the day, we want to come out of this pandemic with sort of real pace, and we don't want to get left behind. So, I think you got to be brave, and you got to just take your opportunities. At the end of the day, if for whatever reason it didn't work, then we'd look at another solution. But for us at that time, knowing what we knew and the pipeline of work and our responsibility to the partners we work with, we felt was the best option.
One thing that's been really encouraging for me is speaking to business owners like yourself in Milton Keynes and also in Northamptonshire. And I think that the word I'm going to pick you up on there is brave. There have been some really brave decisions made in terms of looking after employees first and foremost, then obviously customers, suppliers, and a lot of businesses have made those brave decisions, whether it be furloughing staff, recruiting staff in some instances, and of course, moving offices. So before I'm really keen to have a look round, and when lockdown is fully lifted, I'm going to definitely come over for a posh coffee, Martin, so you can show me. Before you show us around now, I must say, compared to a good-looking guy like you, I look rough. I've got hay fever, which has really affected me. But also, how have you kept your hair as tidy as that during lockdown?
So this is a question I've been asked by several of the teams. So every Friday we have a Cygnus roundup, and no one believes me. But my 16-year-old son, he's obviously got a creative strand with barbering, and he's managed to keep me in some sort of shape. The thing is, I am losing hair anyway, so it does.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kept me pretty trim. So so thank you, Sam, for that.
Yeah, well done, Sam. I think when he finishes his education, there could be a new opportunity there. It could be a barber in MK.
Yeah, well, he's going into video and media, so college is his next step. Let's see what happens.
Well, Sam, if you're watching this, well done, because you've kept your dad with the best Barnet in lockdown that I've seen anyway, for sure. So well done, Sam. Martin, go and take us on a tour of this new, exciting new space for you and your team. Martin, that looks great. It's a wonderful space. Collaborative is the word that you used at the beginning of this interview. I wish you and your team all the very best post-lockdown, and I look forward to coming over and seeing you all in the flesh.
Yeah, definitely. You'll definitely, be more than welcome. I'd just like to thank you guys as well, because, the comms you guys have been putting out and how you've been trying to connect with people and networking, all the various things you've been doing has been fantastic. So, and I think that's kind of shown in the sort of true strength and support of the Milton Keynes business community. We will get through this, together and stronger. And, I'd just like to thank you guys for being part of that.
Thank you, Martin.
Okay. Thanks, Ben. Take care.
Take care. Bye.